Hey everybody, I'm Adam,
I'm Michael.
and today we're going to be talking Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 1, Winterfell, because we're born in Ohio.
Now we sound very that SNL skit. It
You're
is
wel-
early for us.
Yeah, it is early. I'm a little tired. We mentioned this before, and that we might be doing this, and we are. We're going to go through each episode of the last season of Game of Thrones and do like a little recap after they air. And this first episode was called Winterfell, which was aptly named because that's primarily where it was.
I'm wondering if they're ever going to actually get past Winterfell. Because you got to think about this. There's only 5 episodes left, right?
Yeah.
It's a long-ass way for all those winter zombie people to
Isn't the
get
third
all the way to the city.
the third episode? I think is called Battle of Winterfell,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So half the season, and they've just made it to Winterfell.
Unless the Ice King says fuck his army and flies that dragon all the way to the Citadel.
I would actually really enjoy that.
I would too. And watch him butt fuck the hell out of Cersei.
Yeah, because they showed, like, in the previous season, if you kill, like, one captain, all of the whites that he commanded die too.
Yeah.
Kind of like killing the vampire that bit you.
Yeah.
So if he's over in King's Landing, fucking all of them in the ass, they can't kill him. So his army's going to be fine in Winterfell.
Did you notice that one of the first visions that Bran has, they show a dragon flying over the citadel, over the city? It's a shadow. It's very quick. It's like 2 frames, and it's flying right over.
Could be that. So this first episode, overall, did you feel like it was a good episode?
I thought it was a good episode because not that there was a lot of actiony stuff going on, but it was cool to see all those characters,
All the reunions,
and people that haven't been around each other meeting up and stuff like that. I liked that because I looked forward to every single conversation or mannerism between each character and how they were going to do that, you know?
Right. And by the way, if you haven't caught on, since this is a recap, there will be all kinds of spoilers. So if you haven't watched the show,
You definitely want to listen to this before you do.
or you're one of the 18 million people that, or you're not one of the 18 million people that watched it the night of.
Was it 18 million? Really?
It's like just under like 17.4.
How is it not closer to the Super Bowl numbers?
Because this is a paid service.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, do we want to go right into like some shit about it?
Sure.
I mean, they started off with a whole new title sequence, which was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I liked watching that, and that title sequence was pretty damn sweet.
I think since they have such limited geographical spots they're going to this season, they were like, well, let's show the inner workings of the places that we're going to. I like that it started from the broken portion of the wall and moved south. Yes. Basically, it's following
the trajectory,
the trajectory of the White Walkers, and I liked the little flipping things to show essentially where they are.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
So I'll be eager to see how the next episode, that should be creeping pretty close to Winterfell.
Did you notice the one part of the ring thing that's flipping around that shows the Ice King holding up the head of a lion, a severed head of a lion?
I don't think that's what that was.
What do you think it was then?
So, I mean, I'd seen like some other recaps, like some people like talking about that. There were like 3 new carvings or whatever.
Sure.
And like 3 of, I can't remember what all they said they were, but one was representing the Red Wedding. One was, I mean, there were plot points leading up to now, like important plot points. But I mean, I'll have to look at that again because I watched the title sequence again to notice like the rings look tarnished.
Yes.
More so now, which I don't know if that is an omen or foreshadowing.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, if that's the case, that's interesting.
Or do you think... No, that wasn't a direwolf's head. It was definitely a lion's head.
It might have been a direwolf's head, actually. Because I think that's what they were talking about with the Red Wedding. Because they cut...
but that definitely looked like a White Walker.
I don't think it was... Well, I mean, it's a great...
I guess it could have been Walter Frey.
I think it was supposed to be Walter Frey.
He had long, stringy hair, but he looked like a damn White Walker, too.
That was supposed to represent the Red Wedding of cutting off Rob's direwolf's head. And, I mean, that was representative of Rob.
Yeah.
Like, what do we got here? I have notes. because I'm a professional.
I don't need notes. I don't even remember lines.
I didn't put down like a lot of that kind of stuff. This episode was a direct mirror of season 1, episode 1.
Yes, with Arya as a child running through. Now there's a little boy that's doing exactly.
Yeah, and they're watching a royal procession come in, and the Stark family's greeting them, and it's awkward.
Yeah.
And then Jon's scene with Arya felt very much like when he said goodbye in the first episode when he was going to go to the wall. And then it ended with Jaime and Bran.
Yeah.
Which was, what the fuck is up with Bran? He's like that friend you had when you were young that you wake up and he's just fucking staring at you.
Yeah, he's very creepy. Like, no joke.
I mean, I know that they basically, he's no longer really Bran.
Yeah.
Bran. Like, he's some other...
Yeah, because even Jon said, "You're a man now," and he said, "Sort of," or a little bit, or something like that.
Or not. I don't know. It was weird. He's like not quite. He said something.
Yeah.
And Jon just looked at him like, "All right, weirdo."
Yeah, exactly. What kind of shit's maybe been smoking?
I mean, you can be weird over here. I'm gonna go bang my aunt some more.
Hey, if your aunt looked like that, you know what I'm saying?
I said that to Nolan.
Oh, did you?
He sent me a message. He's like, "Oh, okay, just get some more ant fucking going on." I'm like, "Hey, you know, if your aunt look like that,
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying."
yeah.
Gross. Before this episode aired, we've been debating like what could happen this episode.
Yeah.
One thing we were really debating, would they kill off a main character? And me, you, and Kyle were like, it could happen.
Yeah.
And then I had thought about it for a while, and I'd said, like, I think the only one that makes sense that they could kill would be Tormund.
Yeah.
Because he was at the wall. The White Walkers aren't going to make it to Winterfell yet, and I think most of it's going to be setting up, getting the pieces in play where they need to be for the next portion of the story. And, man, I thought it was happening. They faked me out with that crazy zombie kid waking up.
You didn't see it coming?
Well, no, I saw that, but like...
Because Ethan was watching with me, and Ethan, it scared the shit out of him. Like, he did not see that they... I'm like...
No, I definitely saw it coming.
Oh, okay.
But it scared me because I was like... Because as soon as they went to that, it's like the final scene.
Oh, you thought he was going to kill him?
Yeah, I was like, God damn it, I don't want to be right. I don't want to be right.
Yeah, I didn't want... No, I can't have him die like... He's going to die in battle.
Yeah, and plus he has to see Brienne one more time.
Yeah, he didn't do that crazy... Crazy-eyed...
Crazy-eyed smile, yeah.
Whatever the hell you want to call it. I love it.
He's like, I've never seen a woman like this.
Well, he's used to fucking bears, you know.
I guess we should go chronological, the episode.
Sure.
So there's a lot of reunions, a lot of characters that really haven't seen each other since season 1.
Yeah.
Or different points, like Sansa hasn't seen Tyrion since she was married to him in King's Landing.
Yeah, it's since Joffrey's wedding when she... Yeah.
Yeah. I was almost expecting a little more of a fond reunion with him, but the aftermath, did you watch the behind the scenes shit they always do after the episode?
Yeah.
They were like saying like, if he hadn't showed up with Dany, it might be a little sweeter. There's a couple things in regards to the Stark children that I find kind of interesting. Arya saying that Sansa's like the smartest person she knows.
I thought that was odd.
I was like, out of where?
Where
did this come from?
You haven't even seen your sister in all of this time.
I mean, they're alluding to that she was the one who set up the ruse against Littlefinger, which, I mean, she learned all of her shit from Littlefinger.
Right.
And he was a pretty smart dude, but he just overplayed his hand.
Yeah.
And everyone is telling Jon to remember who he is, which is kind of interesting.
I don't know, man. It's weird to me how he didn't want to be King of the North to begin with.
No,
he didn't want to be the Lord Commander either. You know, he didn't want any of this shit.
All this stuff is thrust upon him, and that's kind of the theme.
Yeah, so it's like everyone being kind of irritated, especially Sansa, that he gave up his kingship, whatever you want to call it, so he could bend the knee to... Because
they make a big point, first off,
about the people of the North.
People in the North are not very forthcoming.
Yeah.
And that has definitely been the case. So it's not out of place, but I feel like they're hitting us over the head. Like they're saying, just remember who you are.
Yeah.
Remember who you are.
I didn't mind when Arya, if they just did the scene with Arya hugging him and saying, when he says, I'm family too, and she said, don't forget that.
Yeah.
Because then it foreshadows, close to the end of the episode when he's finally told who he is, which in reality, they kind of act like he's not still a Stark. He is half a Stark. So it's like...
Yeah, he definitely is.
Don't...
The big reveal is that not only is he half Targaryen, but he is a legitimate Targaryen. He's not a bastard.
Right. Yes. Because they actually got married.
That's what makes him the rightful heir to the throne. That he's legitimate, and he was the son of Rhaegar. And I'm very curious how Dany's going to react to that.
Yeah, I am too.
Or if Jon's going to say anything. I feel like he'd have to this next episode. Like, that has to come out.
Or I wonder if he doesn't say something, but somebody else does. Like Sam. Because Sam's obviously
he's
pretty
distraught,
upset.
Yeah.
And almost where he just blurts it out of anger at some point and says that you're not even really the queen. Jon is the legitimate, king. And then that's how it comes out. I can see them doing it that way. Because Jon doesn't want any of it,
I know he doesn't want it. But yeah, when Sam told him that toward the end, he seemed more distraught about like, oh fuck, I don't want to be king. Didn't worry about the fact that, oh fuck, I've been fucking my aunt.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe that hasn't dawned on him yet.
maybe they pick up exactly like like after that conversation, and he's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Our kids are gonna be so fucked up.
Yeah. But maybe he's not as worried about it because Dany has said, she even told Jon, the dragons are the only children she'll ever have. She can't have children. Mm-hmm. So he's thinking, might as well. I mean, there's a lot of incest going on in the Game of Thrones. Lots of it. It's almost normal now. At least it's not his sister.
True. Back on the whole thing about people kind of telling Jon, like, remember who you are or whatever. When Varys and Tyrion and was it the Onion Knight were all talking?
Yeah.
And basically saying, like, wouldn't it be great if they would just get married and rule together?
Right.
But then Varys said something that they don't want to listen to old people because it would remind them that nothing lasts.
Right.
I wonder if there's more to that than just like, oh yeah, people get old and they die, versus that relationship is not going to last.
Sure. Yeah, I can see it going either way. It does leave you wondering. Do you like Varys as a character?
Yes.
I like him very much.
Yeah, I think he's fantastic.
Which worries me.
Well, he's going to die.
I'm not worried about him dying. I'm worried about there's some sort of scheme
that he's doing,
that he's been doing all along, and we're not and that worries me because I genuinely like him as a character, and the actor's great.
He's the one who got the Targaryens involved with the Dothraki, because he was actually backing. Was it Viserion? Was her brother's name?
Yes.
And then he realized, oh, it's actually Dany.
And he's a nutcase. I think he realized that too. He was too much like his father, whereas.
So I mean, I think he's been pushing for her the whole time. But I mean, way back in I don't know what season, they asked about. I think Littlefinger or somebody asked him about his ambitions, and he kind of gave a glance over to the throne.
Yeah.
Which I don't know.
Right. I think that's the whole thing. Because his whole thing is he wants to. His only concern is to protect the realm, just to protect the realm.
Yeah, I feel like if he sees like, okay, these people aren't working out, like he's gonna do something else.
Right. I can see something like that. Oh, that reminds me. What about Bronn? Cersei asking him to take the crossbow and take out Jaime and Tyrion.
Yeah,
if they don't die during the battle.
Right. It was.
It's by the way, if that actually happens, I'm gonna have a huge issue with that character. I mean, with the
Bronn?
writing because there have been several times he didn't have to help Tyrion or Jaime, and he showed that he cared for both of them, both cases.
I don't think he will. But if he did, I still don't think that would be out of character, because he is still
a sellsword.
A sellsword, and he's been going up and up in stature, and that's kind of been orchestrated. But I do agree with you. I don't think he would do it.
I don't disagree with you that it's out of character for him. Because I mean, it's like when he wouldn't fight for Tyrion because the risk was not worth the reward that he would have gotten. So, I mean, I agree with you. Yes. But I think he's smart enough to know
that Cersei is not exactly the best person to take promises from.
Exactly.
I do like that she gave him a crossbow, like what that Tyrion used to kill Tywin.
Yes, I like that too. Which is that? They never said one way or the other. That's not Joffrey's, is it? I know he picked it up off.
It might be because he killed that one prostitute with it.
Yeah,
Roz, who's not a character in the books, but she had plenty of lines.
Yeah,
I just think they like showing her tiggo bitties.
I feel like there's gonna be something with that crossbow.
Yeah, although I gotta say, Bronn's scene was like the most gratuitous sex scene they've done in a while.
Oh, that was very graphic, wasn't it?
I mean, you saw that lady hop on and adjust his
yeah.
I mean, you didn't see his junk, but it was like, oh, yep, there's insertion, but they're just talking about shit, and he's like, come on, guys,
yeah.
I'm gonna lose my wood. Exactly. And then fucking creepy ass Qyburn hiding in the closet to jump out and do the whole rodeo bit. Says, oh yeah, you want to kill these guys? Hey man, I got this crossbow. Want to kill these guys?
I wish these two actors would either. It's been a long time that Lena Headey and the guy that plays Bronn still can't be in the same room together. I'm to the point now where I'm like, I really want to know what happened with this, because for it to be this long, even if you count the number of years, just alone, how long Game of Thrones has been going on, that they will not be, I think it's more her. She will not be anywhere near him.
Like in real life, personally?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know that?
No, I didn't.
They dated.
Oh.
Yes. So her whole thing was, if you're going to cast him,
then I don't want to be in season with them.
I will not be in the same room with this guy ever, which is why you've never seen Bronn ever around Cersei.
That's hilarious. I didn't know about that.
Even in the last season, when Bronn is in that big courtyard talking to Tyrion, after they just showed the zombie or the the white whatever you want to call it, and then he said, "You know what? Let's go get a beer." Out of nowhere, it didn't even make sense. He told Tyrion, "Let's go get a drink or an ale or something." They left because Cersei was coming back to the thing to say that she's going to, or it wasn't. It was Podrick. He took Podrick for a drink.
That's funny.
Yeah, they're never in the same space ever. So I either want to know what the fuck happened. It had to be really, really bad. Because these aren't teenagers.
Right.
They're
Right. They're adults.
They're adults.
I do want to go back to something with the North kind of saying their opinion about Jon, starting to question him. And it just dawned on me that Jon has always been concerned about the greater good. He sees the big picture.
Yes.
No one else seems to see the big picture.
I agree.
And in the past, that got him killed. Because he saw that
is also true.
They needed to bring the wildlings in. It was the right thing to do. And it would be strength in numbers because they're all about to be in the same fight. But his brothers were like, no.
Yeah.
We don't forgive them. Now we stab you.
So you're worried, or there's at least a concern that once again he's doing the same thing. He's bringing Daenerys and all these other people in to do the right thing.
Well, you see, it's it mirrors that pretty well.
It does.
Was there I don't know the little girl ruler's name.
Yeah,
who's a badass
pissed.
motherfucker. She was real pissed.
Yeah.
And everyone else was like, yeah, what the fuck? You're our king. We don't give a fuck about this dragon lady. Did you bend the knee to the dragon lady? We don't do that.
Right.
So they're making that tension, which I feel like this next episode is only going to be tension between, now that we have all these people here, it's just going to be the tension of this group. How can they act as one kind of deal? Especially with these information bombs like Jon being the true heir and this, that, and the other coming out. And Jon finding out that Dany isn't exactly necessarily a just ruler, which I gotta say, the actor who plays Sam did that scene pretty well.
Yeah, he did. He's a good actor.
Yeah, I like him. I didn't think he would be as upset about his dad dying, but he certainly was much more upset about his brother.
About his brother, yes. Yeah, he seemed to be, okay, well, yeah, all right, my dad, yeah, and I can see him doing that and saying, no, he's not going to, but his brother,
He saw the bride, so he's like, well, at least I can go back home now.
Yeah.
And then she's like,
yeah.
about that, yeah, I killed him.
Now that you say this, this is another thing that'll bother me. If once everyone knows that Jon is a Targaryen,
the North reject him?
That's going to bother me because he is Lyanna Stark. He is half Stark. He is still family. He's still the Starks in that sense. You can't completely dismiss that. So it's like, it's a little offsetting to me if they go that route with it.
See, I almost feel like what could happen is this next episode is all tension. And right as it gets to a boiling point, the whites are going to be on the border,
and then you don't know,
start the attack.
You don't know if someone's going to backstab Jon in the middle of the fight. Yeah.
Well, I don't think they would do that. I think they'll be forced to fight together, and then the aftermath, they didn't, like, no one forgot. Like, and I think there's going to be a bigger power struggle now. Which is also, that could be completely wrong. I hope it is, because we only have 5 more episodes, and that is a lot of plot to chew through.
Yeah.
I know the episodes are getting longer from here on out. I'm not sure if like the first 2 are the same.
No,
length,
so it goes up by I think it was 4 minutes this next one, 4 more minutes,
and then
it
we're
goes
getting
up
like
by
20
8 more minutes, and then then it goes up by like 20.
Yeah.
And then
I know at least the last 2
more.
episodes I think are supposed to be like 80 minutes or so.
Yeah. I don't want any more of those problems, man.
Before I want to talk about where we think things are going, but I want to touch on some other things that happened this episode. Theon he rescued his sister Yara.
Yeah.
Pretty easily. It was because Cersei was busy fucking a pirate.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of weird.
I love that guy though. Like, I don't like his character because he's not likable, but the guy playing him is great.
Yeah.
I really
He's like, I want to fuck the queen first before we go.
Yeah.
She's like, you're on the wrong side, right? He's like, well, then I'll just fucking sail somewhere else. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Which does fit him. It does. Yeah.
It's like, I'm just going to fuck this queen first.
Yeah.
Because he's just like, I can do that. It's like now he's going to go talk to his other buddies like, hey, bang the queen. Let's go somewhere else and bang another queen. But I do like that Theon is a piece of shit, but he's doing his redemption arc.
Yes.
And instead of hiding away on this island with his sister, he wants to go fight for the Starks.
Yes.
Which it's not, I'm never going to be back on Team Theon.
Yeah.
I never really was. He was always kind of a shitty character. But I do like what they're doing with him.
Yeah, I do too. I do think it's weird that his sister's going back to try to take over the islands when...
Well, her point, like, strategically makes sense. That
sure, strategically it does.
Dany, and then we're going to need a place to fall back to if they're not able to hold Winterfell. And
I think she's a good fighter.
Yes.
But anyway.
But, it would make sense to hold up on an island because how do the whites get over there? The only thing, the Night King can come over with a dragon.
He comes over with that dragon, does one sweep of and then just does his little raise up shit.
Assuming that we still have the other 2 dragons, it wouldn't be like an easy feat. What else we got? What did you think of the dragon date?
I thought, first of all, when it started, I go, man, don't Avatar this weird shit. And then it's for some reason to me it felt like it didn't fit the rest of the whole show.
Yeah, what didn't fit to me was Dany's like, yeah, go ahead, ride him. When it's been like a thing that only Targaryens are dragon riders, why on earth would she be like, go ahead?
What they should have done with that scene is have, like, when they're walking up to them, just have a casual conversation about whatever. It wasn't immediately on her mind to ride it. Then she climbs onto the back of the one, and then they're just talking about whatever the hell they're talking about. And then Jon hesitantly, just curiosity, walks up to the dragon and doesn't do anything. And then the dragon does put its side down. And then she's curious as to why would that be happening. And then she's like, go ahead and climb on, as more of a let's see what happens. This shouldn't be happening type deal.
Right. Yeah, if it would have played out more like this was an interesting discovery.
Yes, exactly.
And something to be kind of in awe of.
Yeah.
It would have played a lot better.
What about the ending of it? Like when they land by the water,
And
then the
Drogon just stares at him.
Yeah, and almost with a smile. Like when you watch it twice, it's almost like he's like, "Oh, look at you two." And I'm just like, "What the fuck is this?"
Well, I feel like the joke was like he was like staring at him like, all right, you gonna fuck my lady, okay, but I'm gonna look at you while you do it.
I'll watch you while you do it.
But I almost took it as Drogon was almost acknowledging John.
I can see it that way too, sure.
Although how they edited it, like it's edited like a joke.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think John even like kept one eye open, like when he went in for a kiss, which is, I mean, it's a cheesy joke, but there's not much room for jokes in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it doesn't fit.
Yeah. And given the fact that Targaryens are the only dragon riders, and motherfuckers saw John riding the dragon, these other smart fucks like Varys and Tyrion and whatnot, I would think they'd be like, guys?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Did you see that? He was doing it. He was doing it. I guess one of the other reunions that brought up something really interesting was Arya and her reunion with Gendry.
Yeah.
Which was nice. They had he had an exact line that he said to her when he found out who she was.
Right.
Way back when. He said like the exact same thing to her. But what was more interesting is she had a design for a weapon.
I'm waiting to see what this thing... I should have went back and paused. Because I was curious. It looks like it detaches.
Yes, it does look like it detaches. Yeah. And I recall in the trailer her holding what looked like a dragonglass dagger. But maybe it's like a dagger that...
she can shoot out of it.
It's like a bolt that shoots it out.
Yeah.
Which would be interesting.
Yeah, it would be.
So obviously that's going to come into play.
Right.
You don't just hand somebody a schematic and be like, I want this, and then it doesn't come back.
Right. Right. And what about the Hound's big ass dragon glass axe? Because you've only ever seen him fight with a sword. Although the axe looks cool as shit, and I can see a big man like him swinging a big ass, dragon glass axe.
Did he fight with a sword when he went north? Like when they did their whole Suicide Squad mission?
I thought he had a sword the whole time.
I don't recall.
Oh, wait a minute.
I mean, I don't mind him having a different weapon. I mean, he's a big dude. He can wield a big
No, I don't
axe.
mind it either. But I just, you know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe he did have, or did he take? Oh, wait a minute. Or did he have the hammer from? What's his nuts hammer? Because remember they said, "Give me the hammer. You'll run faster without a weapon."
Oh yeah, I think he had a hammer.
Then maybe he liked the feel that. All right, that makes sense. Never mind. Let that go.
Okay. Interesting. His Hound's reunion with Arya didn't go how I expected
Not me
it
either.
I feel like she was like super cold.
Yeah.
And he was almost looking for. I felt like he almost felt like a shamed puppy dog. Like he was looking like, oh hey.
Yeah.
You made it. And she's like, yeah, fuck you.
Yeah,
and he's like, yeah, you're a cold bitch.
Yeah, especially since he genuinely asked about her to Brienne when he saw her and dismissed the fact that she practically killed him. I mean, mentioned it, but I'm saying he asked about Arya, and they were both concerned. Like, he does care about her.
Yeah.
And
in his hound way.
In his hound way. And Arya kind of forgave him. Like, she left him there to die, potentially, but she didn't finish him off either. So, which you could have taken as more of a torturous type deal thing, let him die longer and whatever else. But I don't think that she did it that way. I think she just let it go. So, yeah, I expected her to not be as cold, I should say.
Because I liked their story arc together.
I did, too, very much.
I think that brings me, at least, up to date with kind of stuff that happened until the very end, when Tormund and what's left of the people from the wall are in that one keep. I can't remember what that place is called.
Yeah.
And they stumble upon the little kid stapled to the wall.
Yeah. It's like straight out of one of the Hannibal episodes, for the show Hannibal.
Okay.
With a guy that would make art pieces out of body parts.
Yeah, I haven't watched that yet.
It's
been meaning
fantastic.
to. It's on Amazon Prime, and it's been on my list forever.
It's worth. I'm telling you, it's great.
I'm just now going back and watching season 2 of Preacher.
No,
I have
this
a
is the last
backlog.
season coming up.
Yeah.
Which saddens me also. But yeah, no, that was the whole sun or star or some sort of, I call it a sun, basically based on how
The
they have
spiral.
arms. The spiral thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which did we see that somewhere else?
Yes.
Where was that?
They've shown it several times.
Was it on like a tree or something at one point, or a rock or something? For some reason?
It was sometime in the north. They found like men and horse parts that was in the spiral.
That's right. That's what it was. That's what it was. Okay.
Also, that shape was in rocks around the tree of the first White Walker when they showed the Children of the Forest make the first White Walker.
Yeah.
They pulled up like a bird's eye view, and it was that spiral shape was in rocks.
That's right. I forgot.
Around there.
Okay.
And I think it was Dragonstone when
when they're inside
John
that cave
first
area.
met Danny to try to get dragon glass.
Yeah.
It was etched on one of the cave walls.
Okay.
And I think it might have showed up again.
Like I recognized it immediately, but then I couldn't think of what it was.
Yeah,
But
I have no idea what that is. But obviously it's important to the White Walkers. I don't know if it's all just hearkening back to that creation of the first. Like that's like the Night King's signature kind of thing. But people did point out like, wait, what's the Night King thinking? You know, like they just murdered all these people. And he's like, you know what? We're moving south. We just killed everybody we saw. There's probably no chance that somebody would see this, but let's make some arts.
Yeah.
Arts and crafts.
It was, I agree.
Oh, that kid was creepy as shit. That Screech.
Yeah.
That seemed like something out of like a Resident Evil game or something.
I agree. It was.
Or like a Dark Souls.
Those games that you would love to play so much.
No, I wouldn't. I don't want to play them. So that kind of, I feel like that summarizes the episode pretty well. Let's talk about where we might think things are going to go for the next episode. I think, like I said, I think it's going to all be about tension building until the last scene where the whites show up.
I agree with that, yes.
I think the big rift that's going to happen between John and Danny is Danny's going to want to just murder Jamie.
Yes.
And John doesn't want to.
Yes. Yeah, it's all kinds of... I really don't know.
Because John will see that Jamie defected to come do what's right because he sees the big picture. And also that he charged Brienne to deliver the Stark girls back.
Right.
Because he promised that, and he gave her his sword.
Right.
And that, yeah, of course he did some fucked up shit. Definitely. But John, being another sees the big picture type person, will be able to forgo his previous sins and accept his help.
You know what? Now that you say this, and I'm thinking on this, it doesn't make sense why they're chastising him so much. This is why. So that last season, that episode where they bring the zombie guy in, Jamie's there. They're all there. The Lannisters, they come back. They say that they're going to help them. They're going to send people. Okay. So then, when Jamie arrives, why are they giving him so much shit? Yeah, his sister ultimately said, "Fuck them. I'm not going to send anybody." But ultimately, he said, "Fuck you. I'm going to help them." And shows up. But the only way I could see it is maybe they look at it as maybe he's showing up because he's going to secretly try to take out the queen or something. You know what I mean?
Well,
but then
the North has everything to despise about the Lannisters. When
they heard
when Tyrion said the Lannisters were bringing an army, North was pissed. So North doesn't want them.
Yeah.
Danny doesn't want, like Jamie, obviously, because he killed her father.
Right.
But I think when he shows up and he says there is no more help, Danny's like, well, you're not of any use to me.
Sure.
And I can do with you what I want.
I can see, but do you actually see them killing him?
No, I don't think, no, I definitely don't.
Definitely. Yeah.
I think, like I said, this is going to be the rift between Danny and John, where John, he sees another example of her not being able to show mercy or to see the bigger picture necessarily.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Jamie killed his grandfather. There's so many layers, man. There's so many layers
If,
everywhere.
if John started like thinking like that, I'd be like, no, too soon.
Yeah, I agree with you. Too soon.
Because I think like deep down, like you said, he keeps on getting these titles thrust upon him. Like you're, what did they call that at the wall?
Lord Commander.
Lord Commander. Now we name you King of the North.
Yeah.
And now he finds out he's the heir to the fucking big time throne.
Yeah.
Going to the big game.
And all the man wanted was just to live an honorable life, you know?
Yeah.
That's all he wanted.
So I almost wouldn't be surprised if at first he doesn't say a fucking thing because he doesn't want it.
Sure. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I can see Sam as the one that actually blurts or something, someone.
Or it's like I said, like something's going to have to be the straw that broke the camel's back where he's going to have to be like, okay, Dany can't be the ruler.
Or I wonder if...
Like, because I feel like ultimately
I see what
his
you're
concern,
saying,
like for doing the right thing,
yeah,
is going to eventually be that he needs to rule because there's no one else
that'll do it justly.
That'll do it justly.
Yeah.
Either that or
yeah.
that. I also think that there's a strong possibility of them going back to 7 separate kingdoms and not having one ruler.
And honestly, I think that would probably be the best thing for them to do.
Yeah, because nothing ever good happens to the person on that throne.
Yeah.
They all fucking die. They get killed by somebody. Or in Tommen's case, you just jump out a fucking window.
I've had enough of this shit.
I'm done. Like, you took away my lady, which I feel like they alluded that she was banging that little kid. But
Yeah.
that's weird.
That is weird, right?
Because all he wanted to do was just lay in bed and hang out with his cats or pounce.
Yeah, exactly. And she's trying to get him to give her a...
She's like, well, I'll teach you where that word pounce came from.
Yeah, you need to consummate this.
Yeah, doing it. Do you have any thoughts about this next episode or where, now that all of our characters are kind of in place,
Yeah.
what the next step, like the next thing is going to be?
I agree 100% that this is going to be an all build-up thing, and that bringing Jamie in that's going to be... it may or may not be a riff thing, but it's going to definitely cause a ton of tension.
I feel like that might be the meat of the episode is how people react to Jamie being there.
Yes, and you saw that Bran is in that room.
Oh, yeah.
Jamie Sanders. So I almost wonder if Bran's the one that says, no, John's actually the whatever, because he doesn't give a shit. He's whatever the third three-eye raven and stuff. And
because initially he said he has to hear it
from someone he trusts the most.
Someone he trusts the most.
Yeah.
And you're more his brother than me.
Yes.
So that makes sense. But now that he knows, and of course Bran knows he knows because Bran is some fucking weird all-seeing guy now, and like that character has changed like so drastically. He's so weird now.
He's so weird.
Kudos to these medieval wheelchairs though. That's pretty good design.
That's pretty good design. I thought so as well. Seriously, when I was watching it, I was like,
did you catch in the episode like when I can't remember who asked him why the fuck he was outside? He said waiting for a friend.
Yeah, when it was Jamie. Yeah,
fucking creepy bitch. So, Bran, when is Bran gonna really come into play? So far, he's just been exposition machine. Like he's the reason we know Jon is who Jon is. I guess in collaboration with Sam doing his readings at the Citadel. But Bran, I know they probably have to keep that kind of character in check because his power is huge.
Yeah,
but he's got to do something.
I'm really in the dark about what they're going to do with this guy, because at first it was keep the Night King the fuck away from him. And now he's at the one place where they're all going to come. So it's like, besides going into, I don't know, at one time I thought maybe he was going to try to, morph into one of the dragons and use that to fight, or because...
There's a big theory, there's a ton of theories about the Game of Thrones, but there's a big one that Bran is actually the Night King.
I read that also.
And that Bran is actually a lot of the Brandon Starks throughout history. Like he was Brandon the Builder. Like he orchestrated, Brandon the Builder is one who made the wall.
Okay. I forget that some of that stuff.
It'd be interesting if, basically, because he can see everything. Right. He can see past, present, future. if, and obviously we can see that he can affect the past because he made Hodor.
Right.
It'd be interesting, but kind of weird if basically he saw that the realm needed something like this to unify it, and that he orchestrated all this in order to get that end, like a unified realm.
Like a cleansing?
Yeah, like, or else the kingdoms were just gonna kill each other.
I can see that. I can see that being one way, yeah. Because right now I don't really know what, other than what you said, the past, present, future thing. What is his part? What's he gonna do in that damn wheelchair when the war starts to happen? Sit on top of the wall in his wheelchair and watch it?
Yeah.
I mean, what else?
He's just gonna be staring at it like.
He's just gonna be staring. Right. Bring in all the ravens and have them swoop down and what? It's weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Like they even train the children to fight for this war coming up. Everyone's got to learn how to fight. Everyone. But why is Bran? What is he gonna do? Is he gonna be fucking Charles Xavier?
Maybe he'll just be like touching that tree and learning shit like about what's happening, and like there's somebody that stands next to him and like jots it down and just shoots ravens out all the time to the people.
Yeah,
sending like messages to the front lines. We got old Bran the tree man sending out his birds with his he's patting like orchestrating the army. I don't know, but I'm curious, like, because I think this next episode is just going to be tension building up to the battle,
and I want to see what Cersei's doing. But I don't care. You know what I'm saying? At one point, I don't care.
You were saying like that she still got the money to get the Golden Company.
Yeah, and then she's got
which you were right. I thought the Golden Company was gonna like because when Dany did that whole attack,
you thought it hit the gold and everything.
Well, they did hit.
They did hit, yeah,
but apparently not enough.
Not enough, yeah.
I like going back again. I liked Cersei's disappointment that there weren't any elephants. This guy really wanted those elephants. I almost feel like that's kind of a poking fun at Lord of the Rings with elephants.
Yeah.
Like, she's like super psyched. Like, she saw that scene with Legolas.
I mean, in all reality, what the fuck are the elephants going to do? She's got 2 fucking dragons. She's going to fly over and roast those damn elephants down like nothing. In reality. True. So it's kind of like, what's the point?
Well, I mean, if you have a bunch of elephants.
Sure, we'll take out a few men for the dragons, kill off all the elephants.
And I would think they'd be pretty good at, knocking down walls or like putting pressure on an actual fortress. You got anything else for like predictions or thoughts of where things are heading? I didn't know how long an episode like this would last, which I don't care that we're running longer than usual.
I want to know how in the hell they touch on it in the trailer for next week. How in the hell Tormund made it all the way back past the White Walkers to
they mentioned
Winterfell
that there were still horses that weren't killed and that they could beat.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
Them there.
By the way, this is that they've been telling you all along that this is where the Night King and his army loses, right? Because it's called Winterfell.
Mind blown. If that's really a thing, I'm gonna be kind of like, I want to be disappointed because it sounds so stupid, but I haven't seen it this whole time.
Yeah.
So
that occurred to me. It occurred to me when I was watching it Sunday night. Winterfell, and this is where the Battle of Winterfell is. It's interesting.
God damn it. Well, if that's the case, I don't know what they're going to do with their last 3 episodes. Take on Cersei, I guess?
Yeah. But then we're right back to where we fucking were before. She got this huge-ass army from the bank against, it should be a very decimated, I'm sure, army.
I don't want it to be that way because I feel like the threat of the White Walkers has always been the thing, like the big thing.
Yes, I agree. 100%.
So for them to be like, okay, well, we beat them in episode 3. We still have 3 episodes, and now we got to just go beat Cersei?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see.
Well,
All right, I think that should wrap this one up.
Sounds good.
If you guys like this, let us know. It's our first time just being laser focused on one particular thing, really. Usually we just fucking rant
All over the place.
and rant. And we're going to be doing this for the rest of the season. But yeah, let us know if you like it. Go to the website, leave a comment. None of you will. We're on our social media, Instagram and Twitter. We're on those. Some of you follow us.
Some of you could use it.
You give us a couple likes here and there, but nobody says shit. This feels like a one-way conversation.
It is.
I think it's about time you guys picked up, some weight of this. It's hard talking at you. We want to hear something back.
Yeah.
Even if it's, you guys suck. I'll take that.
You'll take anything at this point?
Yeah. Feedback is feedback, man.
On that note.
Well, no, hold on.
No, we get nothing.
We could say like we had a nice art weekend.
Oh yeah, we did have a nice art weekend.
Yeah, it might sound weird to some of you, but a few of us men went to a cabin and made art.
We made beautiful art.
That sounds way worse than you would think. But no, you did you were trying out some watercolors, and I was testing out. I haven't done art with like some of these nice graphic markers. And I was also trying out doing some drawing on toned paper, in this case black paper,
yes.
which I feel like I'm gonna really like. But I didn't bring enough of my colored pencils, so I didn't really get a whole lot. Maybe when I have some of these pieces done, I'll put up a blog post or something.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, but that's all I got. And what you were doing was sexy.
Thank you.
Is Mike likes to do creepy painting series.
Go figure.
Yeah.
All right, so until next time, winter came, and so did I, because we're born in Ohio.
I like that one.
I don't get it, goddamn it, this time. Awesome.
Yeah.